Today I fucked up by giving my mom my old AirPods. I won AirPods in a raffle a couple months ago and decided to give them a try last night. Overall, I wasn't a fan of them and prefer to use my wired earphones. I asked my mom if she wanted them and she gladly accepted. I work nights and got home around 6:30 AM this morning. I get to my room and decide to wank one out before I fall asleep. I turn on a nice video and get to work. Halfway through, the sound stops, so I try turning up the volume with no success. As I am trying to figure out why the sound stopped, I see the tiny earphone symbol in the corner of my screen. I quickly realize that my mom is getting ready for her morning walk and put the AirPods in her ears and heard my nice video on full blast. Later that day she gave me back the AirPods and said she didn't like them either. Too long didn't read, gave my mom my old AirPods without realizing they were still connected by Bluetooth to my phone, and she heard the porn I was watching at 6:30 AM on full blast. And this is why I turn off Bluetooth when I'm not actively using it. At that point, do you turn off the video to give her confirmation that it was you watching porn, or just let the video keep going, maybe letting her think the AirPod has been haunted and is reproducing? Modern music sure is sexualized. The fact she gave them back is the best part. Lamau. She didn't like them either, lol. These earpods are broken, all I hear is oh fuck. I once had a vibrator in my closet. I went to college and forgot about it. So, my mom cleaned my room while I was gone and I didn't even think about the vibrator. We were at her friend's and somehow my room getting cleaned up got brought up. And my mom said, and we don't even want to talk about what I found in there. I seriously couldn't even think of what she was talking about, and I tried to the rest of that day. I wake up about 3 AM, straight from sleep and completely mortified. She found my vibrator. I couldn't even think about it for some time, but now I laugh. I'm a 99 graduate, and so this was likely 2000, so it was a bit different times and truly embarrassed me for so long. It would haunt my dreams. Sorry, but who forgets about their vibrator? How many did you have? Today I fucked up, NSFW, by scratching my penis to the size of a tomato and almost dying. Careful if you read on. This is a bit graphical. So this happened last year. I was sleeping when I woke up because my penis was itching. Happens sometimes, I guess. So I scratch it and try to go back to sleep, but it didn't stop. I scratch it again, more vigorously this time. It worked and I fall back asleep, just to be woken up by some really bad pain down there. I lift the blanket to see what's going on and almost had a stroke. My penis didn't look like a penis anymore. It looked like an inflated balloon. Like I had a sack growing out of my usual sack, making me look like I had two scrotum and no dick. It was red and hot and it hurt so bad I almost puked. I must have screamed or something without noticing, cause my roommate knocked at the door to see if I was alright. By then I was crying like a baby. Damn, it hurt so bad. I told him to call a cab. I didn't even think of an ambulance. My mind was all over the place. Is it going to pop? What if they have to amputate it? When I say it looked grotesque, I mean it. Like two avocados joined at the hip. But one avocado was my penis and the other one my balls. So I put on my baggiest pants and my roommate, God bless, brought me to the hospital where I would have needed to wait if it wasn't for a friend's mum who worked there. We called her on our way and she waited at the hospital door with two nurses. They put me on that roll table and down we go to what I thought would be my last ride with penis attached. We get in the room and they check me out. I tried not to look, still crying while three adult women were checking my manhood. Talk about your ego being crushed. In the next half hour I had about 10 more people check out my condition. At some point I thought they were just coming in to see something out of the ordinary. Yo, you wanna see a guy's penis inflated like a balloon? Doctor, and I'm not kidding, while asking me, who was in tears, if it hurt, while poking it. Anyway, it turns out I had a micro scratch and some bacteria came in. They treated me with antibiotics and next day it got worse and I had a sepsis. So now I was almost dying and of course my penis was the reason. Always be getting me into trouble. Turns out they used the wrong antibiotic. They changed it and had me on an 4 of antibiotics and opiates constantly. Took about a week for my pee-wee to look like an actual penis again and 2 more weeks to be normal. normal again. TLDR: scratched my penis in my sleep, got bacteria in, had a sepsis in the hospital and almost died. Edit, FAQs. 1. I was informed a couple of hours ago that one is given a broad-spectrum antibiotic at first until the cause of the infection is clear and then you get the right one. So no malpractice there. 2. I also learned that the infection likely was already there and the scratching just exacerbated it. 3. And tomato was a typo, I swear. Also my first language is German, so have some sympathy. Smile. 4. Obligatory thanks for the awards. 5. Wash your hands, got it. Not that I don't, but still sound advice. Especially these days. D. 6. Cats might have been involved in this, as they always sleep next to me in bed and something might have come on the sheets. 7. Medical bills were €13 including meds for after I left the hospital. Full healthcare FTW. I'm in Austria. 8. I've been asked for pictures so many times even in the DMs. I only have a short video, but watch at your own cost, it's disturbing. This was so suspenseful to read. I've never been so concerned for another man's penis. You're a real bro. Holy shit, that's terrifying. Tell me about it. Now I always check my penis before scratching it. At some point I thought they were just coming in to see something out of the ordinary. Yo, you wanna see a guy's penis inflated like a balloon? As someone who's worked in a net, I can tell you that absolutely some of them just wanted to see it after someone told them. You gotta check out the dude in bed too, it's gnarly. Absolutely. My first baby was 10 pounds 9 ounces and I weighed a whopping 77 pounds pre-pregnancy. It felt like the entire hospital found an excuse to go see the giant baby and her miniature mother. I thought the title said scratched my penis on a tomato and almost dying. I thought I was going on a much wilder ride. One doctor, and I'm not kidding, while asking me, who was in tears, if it hurt, while poking it. Ah yes, a true man of medical science. Today I fucked up by having to call my landlord to get me out of self-bondage. This happened Monday morning. I shared the story with a friend of mine and they told me I had to post it here. So here goes. I'm into bondage. I'm kinky. I have a lot of gear ranging from the mild, handcuffs, butt plugs, blindfolds, to extreme, arm binders, sleep sacks, hoods, and I also own quite a few latex catsuits. To accentuate my figure and bend the gender lines, one of the suits I own features rather large breast forms. I tend to pair this with a latex underbust corset cinched tight, ballet boots, and all the gear I can get into on my own. This was how my Monday started. Shaved smooth, loads of baby powder on my skin and the inside of the latex suit, and I was underway. The self-bondage release was a timed lock that would pop open once the timer ran out, 1 hour, which would allow me enough freedom to slide my hands out of the leather mitts I planned to lock them in. I outfitted myself further before the final steps were taken. The zipper on the crotch of the suit was left open, so that I could lock myself into a chastity device. An inflatable, vibrating butt plug eased itself into me. I slid the zipper towards my crotch, helping seal the plug in. This was one of my favorites. With the help of a few black straps, locked on of course, a Hitachi wand would buzz away mercilessly on the device, keeping me aroused, on edge, and once I achieved orgasm would keep me in during the stimulation. This was my favorite part. I looked forward to it all week when I planned my newest adventure. I applied a few leather straps to my ankles, calves, and thighs, also locked on, before I moved to fully restraining myself. A metal chain was locked to the strap securing my ankles together and was left to secure me in my hog tie. A form-fitting open-mouth style leather hood sealed me into darkness, locked on of course, and a ball gag completed the look, locked on. To be safe I made sure the gag could be pushed out with force. Heavy, thick, black leather posture collar was added, with 2 locks, around my neck. The chain that I previously added to the piece dangled behind me, holding the mitts, and swayed around the small of my back. I turned onto my stomach, located the chain from my collar with the mitts attached, and the chain from my ankles and locked them together. This forced me into a hog tie. I threaded the timed lock through attachment points on the mitts and the chain. The beep confirmed the timer had started. I flipped the wand on for stimulation, and carefully slipped my hands into the mitts. I had practiced this before, and found that the angle my arms and hands were held in would allow me to get into my bondage, but the locked mitts would cinch more once I applied my weight to them. This was key, since I now had to wait for the lock to time out, pop open, and allow me the use of my hands. Every lock I used, 14 in total, had a key that sat a few feet away in a secondary lockbox that was also set to open in an hour. I did this on the off chance that I wiggled free in some unforeseen way. I would still be left in all my gear, waiting to get back to the keys. I wasn't positive I would hear either the timed lock or the ring on the lockbox go off. I also set an alarm on my phone as an added alert. I loved the hog tie, loved feeling my breast forms in the suit, loved the buzzing off the wand as it kept me on edge for my entire ordeal. My phone went off, shaking me out of my bondage-induced haze. I could hear the hum of the fan and feel the breeze on my hooded and gagged face. I jingled my mitted hands to wiggle the lock free, like I practiced a dozen times. No such luck. I took a breather. Resting my head caused me to wallow in the drool caused from my ball gag. I wiggled again. Pulling on the mitts caused my ballet boots to bend towards my shiny, stuffed ass. Again, nothing was freeing itself. My mitts should have come loose by now, allowing slack to slide my hands free, like I practiced a dozen times. Maybe that wasn't an alarm? Was someone calling me? When you spend an hour the way I spent my last hour, you hear things, you're not thinking exactly straight. I wiggled some more. I knew I was in trouble when my alarm went off again, 15 minutes later. I live in a moderately populated state capital. On a busy road, above a tattoo shop, which my landlord owns. I see her frequently. Tall, thin, blonde. Lots of tattoos, always cheerful with a wonderful smile. A single mother of two. She's a badass. I knew she was in her shop seeing customers. That was a little bit of the thrill for me in doing what I was doing. It was also a layer of safety. I stewed in my self-inflicted hogtie of shame for a while. I never thought I would need to do what I was about to do. I managed to push the gag out of my mouth, and squirmed to my phone. Without use of fingers I had to ask Google to call the shop. My phone wouldn't bypass the alarm, instead my Google Home lit up. Reverse tattoo and microblading. How may I help you? It was my landlord. Thank God. Was this the easy part? During this entire fiasco the wand is buzzing away on my crotch, rattling the padlock, teasing me both literally and figuratively. Nice going, moron. Hey Lauren? It's Morgan upstairs. Oh hey, what's going on? Why are you calling the shop? I fumbled over my words, not knowing where or how to even remotely begin to describe how stupid I am and what exactly she was going to walk into. Wait, so you need me to come upstairs? She asked after I explained, clumsily, that I was in a rather compromising predicament with the key to the front door. And I can't apologize enough for what you're about to see. This is absolutely humiliating, and I am so sorry for putting you in this position, but it was either call you, or 911. The phone hung up. I listened intently for her footsteps traversing the staircase. Keys rattled. The door swung open and creaked. I scanned the room as if I would somehow be able to see beyond the hood. Holy shit, you weren't. Jesus, how the hell did you get yourself into this? I didn't even bother answering. I apologized over and over. The wand kept buzzing. Her view must have been quite the sight. What? Stop saying you're sorry. I'm just happy you're not harmed. Thank God I was here today. Are you okay? She asked what she needed to do. I asked her to shut the wand off, and apologized again. It had been leaking a lot of pre-cum in the device and I knew there was a lot of fluid down there. I was a mess. The low hum of the plug grabbed her attention. She commented on not even wanting to know what this was for. I figured she meant the black hose and bulb. I explained that the lock failed to open. It usually pops free and open when the timer ends, like it has 20 times before. Every time I did a dry run, but it was still jammed. So we moved to the container with the keys in it. They all looked the same, the keys, but only one key opened one lock. I told her once she found the ones to my mitts, I could do the rest. Figured she would rifle through them, but instead tried every lock with the key she chose. It was agonizing, lying there, hooded and exposed. I asked if she just wanted to try each key in the mitts, but she didn't seem to care to speed this process up. I wondered what the look on her face was. Amusement? Disgust? Embarrassment? Indignation? I never was one to push my kinks onto people, and here I am, giving her an eyeful. Finally she popped the mitts free. I was sore. My shoulders burned, my calves ached from the ballet boots. He made a joke about the rent being due and this not being an excuse for late payment. She laughed. I was relieved that she wasn't totally mortified, angry, anything negative. I apologized once more, and she headed back down the stairs while I thumbed through the rest of the keys to undo my hood and suit. I desperately needed a shower and a reset. Too long didn't read, lock failed in my self-bondage. Had to call my landlord to free me. Edit, rip inbox. Edit 2, I used these images as inspiration for my colossal fuck up, here and here. Till that bondage is like lifting weights. Always have a spotter. I never thought someone could relate workout with bandage to such a degree. If you can manage the slight amount of water, I would highly recommend an ice lock from Mr. S Leather. It's a physical mechanism held in place by ice, which melts. Essentially can't fail to open. Oh, exactly timing it isn't possible, and it drips a bit unless an ice storm blows through. This made me claustrophobic in a way few things do. Damn, as somebody who works with electronic stuff, I wouldn't even dream of trusting an electronic lock. This is why ice release is awesome, it just cannot fail to melt, no matter what Murphy's Law has to say about it. And even that I wouldn't trust without a backup plan. Ice release. I am learning so much today. So, you don't, but you make it super interesting for the insurance examiner.